10 signs you're an attractive older man, even if you don't know it yet. The hidden strength of maturity. Have you ever caught yourself wondering, do people still notice me? Am I still attractive now that I'm older? It's a quiet question, one most men never say out loud, but it's there. And if you've asked yourself that even once, you're not alone. See, we live in a world that glorifies youth. Flashy confidence, smooth skin, perfect timing. But here's the truth no one says enough. Real attraction runs deeper. It's not just about age or appearance. It's about presence, depth, calm energy, the kind of magnetism that doesn't scream. It draws you in silently. And as you get older, those qualities become stronger, not weaker. So in this video, we're breaking down 10 subtle signs that you are, in fact, an attractive older man, even if you don't fully see it yet. These signs go beyond the surface. They're rooted in psychology, behavior, and the quiet power that comes with life experience. Some of them may already be showing up in your everyday life, and once you see them clearly, your whole perspective might shift on how you see yourself and how women respond to you. Stick around, because this could be the moment where you stop questioning your worth and start owning it. Sign 1. You don't try to impress, and that impresses her. Here's the paradox. The less you try to impress a woman, the more impressed she often becomes. As an older man, you've likely reached a point in life where you no longer feel the need to constantly prove yourself. You're not chasing trends. You're not desperate for validation. You've seen enough, done enough, and now you're simply being. And that is magnetic. Younger men often fall into the trap of overcompensating. Flashy clothes, loud opinions, constant competition. But you sit back. You observe. You respond instead of react. You're comfortable in your skin, and that sends a powerful signal. I know who I am. I'm not here to perform. Women pick up on that. Subconsciously, they recognize the difference. There's strength in a man who doesn't chase attention, because it means he doesn't need it. And that self-assured energy creates a space where she can relax, let down her guard, and be intrigued. So if you've ever noticed that women seem to lean in when you speak, that they listen without you raising your voice, it's not an accident. It's because you've become someone who doesn't seek to impress, and in doing so, you leave a far deeper impression. Sign 2. You carry yourself like a man who's been through things. There's something unmistakable about a man who's lived, not just existed, but truly lived. He's seen love. He's felt loss. He's made mistakes, learned, and rebuilt. And whether he speaks of it or not, you can feel it in the way he walks into a room. That's you. You carry a presence that can't be faked. It's in the way you make eye contact, steady, unshaken. The way you speak, calm, deliberate, without the need to dominate. You've faced enough storms that now, your silence says more than most men shouting. To women, especially those craving depth and emotional security, that presence is irresistible. Why? Because it signals maturity. It tells her, this man won't crumble under pressure. He won't play games. He's not afraid of hard truths. You don't react, you reflect. You don't chase approval, you give clarity. And that kind of grounded, masculine energy is a rare find in today's world. So if people often say things like, you seem like someone I can talk to, or I feel calmer around you, don't brush it off. That's a sign that life has shaped you into a man of substance, and women feel that, even if they can't explain why. Sign 3. You know how to make women feel safe. This might be the most underrated trait of an attractive man, especially an older one, because let's be honest, any guy can throw out compliments or show off with charm, but very few men truly know how to make a woman feel safe, emotionally, mentally, even physically. And safety isn't about being the biggest guy in the room. It's about how you carry yourself. It's in your calm energy, your steady voice, your grounded presence. You don't panic. You don't overreact. You're not trying to control her. You give her space. But you also give her stability. Women feel that, deeply. When she's around you, her guard naturally drops. She laughs more. She opens up more. Because her nervous system is telling her, you're okay here. You can relax. And here's the secret. Attraction doesn't grow in chaos. It grows in calm. So, if women often seem more at ease when they're with you, if they tell you they feel comfortable or safe around you, don't overlook it. That's not friend zone energy. That's mature masculine energy. That's the kind of presence that turns comfort into connection, and connection into chemistry. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's rare, and it's one of the strongest signs that you're not just an older man, you're a truly attractive one. Sign 4. You listen more than you speak. There's a quiet power in a man who doesn't rush to speak. You've probably noticed it yourself. The older you get, the less you feel the need to prove anything. You're not scrambling to talk over others, or to be the loudest voice in the room. Instead, you listen, carefully, intentionally, like a man who's learned that silence often reveals more than words ever could. And here's the truth. Women notice. They can feel when they're truly being heard. And in a world where everyone's busy talking about themselves, a man who listens, who actually pays attention, is rare. It's not about being passive. It's about being present. You're not waiting for your turn to speak. You're genuinely interested. You pick up on the small details, the emotions between the lines, the things she's not saying out loud. That makes her feel seen. And for a woman, being seen is the beginning of real attraction. You're not just another guy trying to impress her. You're a man who values connection over performance, depth over ego. So if women often open up to you easily, if they say things like, "You actually get me," or "I don't usually talk about this, but," then understand this. That's not just kindness. That's magnetism. That's one of the subtle but powerful signs that you're not only an older man, you're an attractive one. Sign 5. You've mastered subtle confidence. There's a type of confidence that doesn't need a spotlight. It doesn't shout. It doesn't brag. It just is. And older men who are truly attractive often carry this naturally. You walk into a room, and without saying much, people notice. Not because you're loud, but because you're centered. You're not seeking approval. You've already made peace with who you are. That's rare, and incredibly magnetic. You don't compete with younger guys. You don't need to. You've learned that real confidence isn't measured by attention, but by presence. The way you sit, the way you speak, the way you pause before responding. It's quiet, but it's powerful. And women, they pick up on that energy instantly. They can feel the difference between a man who's trying to impress and a man who doesn't have to. If you've ever been told you seem grounded, or someone said, "There's just something about you," that's it. That's the unspoken power of a man who knows himself. And in a world full of noise, a man like that becomes unforgettable. So remember, if you carry that calm, steady inner strength, even if you don't see it in the mirror, that's not just confidence. That's one of the clearest signs you're an attractive older man. Sign 6. You know how to make a woman feel seen. There's a quiet power in simply paying attention, not just to her looks, but to her energy, her tone, her silences. And as an older man, you've likely learned this skill the hard way. Through life, through mistakes, through maturity. You don't interrupt. You don't make everything about you. You listen, not just to reply, but to understand. When she talks about something small, you remember it. When her mood shifts, you notice it. Not because you're trying to win her over, but because you genuinely care. And here's the truth. Most women aren't used to that level of presence. They're used to being looked at, but not truly seen. But when a man gives her his full, grounded attention, when she feels emotionally safe in his presence, that's when she opens up. That's when attraction becomes something deeper, something real. So, if you've ever had a woman say, "You make me feel understood," or "It's easy to talk to you," that's not a small thing. That's emotional intelligence. That's lived experience. And that's one of the most underrated signs. You're not just an older man, but an incredibly attractive one. Sign 7. You're comfortable with silence. There's something powerful about a man who doesn't rush to fill every pause, who can sit in silence with himself or with someone else and feel no need to prove anything. That kind of man radiates emotional control. He's not driven by anxiety. He's not chasing approval. He's present, rooted, and in a world that's constantly loud, constantly distracted. That kind of presence stands out like a lighthouse in a storm. You've probably been in a moment where a woman looked at you and said nothing, and you didn't panic. You held her gaze. You stayed in the stillness, and that stillness, it speaks volumes. It tells her, this man is solid. This man doesn't need noise to feel secure. Silence, when used with strength, becomes magnetic. It creates space. It builds tension. It invites depth. So, if you're someone who feels no pressure to overtalk, who can just be, without constantly entertaining or performing, know this. That's not boring. That's masculine confidence. And in a world starving for real connection, that's one of the clearest signs. You're not just older. You're the kind of attractive older man she never forgets. Sign 8. You don't chase attention, but you still get it. You're not out here fishing for compliments. You're not glued to your phone, counting likes or hoping someone notices your new shirt. Why? Because you've outgrown the need for validation. And yet, you still get attention. The kind that's real, quiet, respectful. Women glance your way a little longer. You walk into a room and people instinctively make room for you. Not because you demanded it, but because your presence says, I'm at peace with myself. That's the paradox of real attractiveness. The more you stop chasing, the more things come to you. You're not trying to impress. You're just being calm, grounded, intentional. And women, they notice that. Because it's rare. Because it's mature. Because it feels safe and masculine at the same time. So if you often find yourself getting noticed without trying, if people seem curious about you, even when you're not speaking, that's not luck. That's one of the clearest signs. You've stepped into a version of yourself that's both older and more attractive than you ever realized. Sign 9. Younger women feel comfortable around you. One of the most telling signs that you're an attractive older man is also one of the quietest. You make younger women feel at ease around you. Think about it. Maybe it's the barista who lingers just a little longer when she hands you your coffee. Maybe it's the co-worker who lights up when you enter the room, or the friend's daughter who genuinely listens when you speak. These aren't random moments. They're subtle indicators of comfort, and often quiet admiration. See, women, especially younger women, are naturally drawn to a man with calm energy. Not the loudest guy in the room, not the one trying to prove something, but the man who listens with intention, speaks with clarity, and holds himself with grounded confidence. These are qualities that come with time, experience, and a certain level of inner peace. And ironically, they're exactly what's missing in many younger men. So when a woman laughs at your jokes, seeks your opinion, or even leans in just a little closer, it's not just friendliness. It's her body and emotion saying, I feel safe here. I'm drawn to this energy. And in the world of attraction, safety isn't boring, it's magnetic. You don't need to chase validation. You become the place others feel anchored to. And that, right there, is a powerful form of attraction. Sign 10. You live with purpose, not just routine. There's a big difference between existing and living with intention. And a truly attractive older man doesn't just drift through his days. He moves with clarity, with direction, and with meaning. Whether it's building something, mentoring others, mastering a craft, or simply taking care of his body and mind. He knows why he wakes up in the morning, and that purpose becomes a quiet magnet. Women are deeply drawn to men who aren't lost. Men who've wrestled with life, made peace with their past, and now walk forward with vision. Not perfection, but progress. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be famous. But when you have a mission, a reason behind your actions, you become a rare kind of man. Because purpose gives you presence, and presence gives you power. So if you feel like your life still has fuel, still has fire, if you're chasing meaning, not just moments, that's not just a life well lived. That's a sign you're still growing, still attractive, and still a man worth remembering. So if you've seen yourself in some of these signs, don't doubt your attractiveness. Own it, because being an older man isn't a weakness, it's a gift. A powerful, magnetic presence shaped by time, trial, and truth. And the more you embrace it, the more the world will too. Like what you heard? Hit that subscribe button for more insights on psychology, attraction, and personal power.